Look at me, yeah, yeah. Remember when they hated, didn't think we make it. Now they break their neck just to look at me. Remember when I called you and you didn't fall through. Now you hate yourself, you can't look at me, look at me. Yeah. You made me. Yeah. Look at me.
You ready to gap somebody else? Yeah. One time. Ready? Is you ready? Come on, say it. Gap. No. Gap. No. Gap. No. Gap. No. We both at the light. We merging. You ready to gap him? No. Gap. 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 Gap.
You have no plums on your tree.
What's that?
Why you don't have no plums on your tree?
They did have them, and now I think they're all away. Like they all gone away now. Like they were like 2 months ago. It was full.
We over here at White Aaron's, man. We celebrating for Granny, right, Granny? Huh? God is good.
All the time.
Right? Man.
All the time.
So what we celebrating is 20.
Whoop my hold
on. We celebrating 20 years of Granny not being on crack no more.
I ain't never been on crack. I ain't never been on crack.
Come on, Granny. We can you can open up now.
I ain't never been on crack.
It's fucked up, dude. It's fucked up.
Oh, my bad. It wasn't crack. So 20 years of being clean from meth.
From who?
Meth.
What the hell is that?
Methamphetamine.
Shit.
You don't even know what it is. You can't fucking accuse her of it. Oh my god.
And what up? What's good with y'all? We got the babies. Alright, so what are we getting into today? Today we're about to be heading over to Hexa, and we're about to be getting these fuel rails and stuff installed. I'm about to be upgrading the fuel rails on the C5, and I'm also going to be upgrading to some Dash A fuel line just to help this thing get a little bit more fueling out of it. Currently, you guys have been seeing the C5 a lot, but the car is actually turned down. Since the dyno video, this car has not been on like its full power mode. We have the limiter set lower because we're having an issue with pressure drop up top. For some reason, I've had this issue with this car for like the last since I've had the supercharger on it, honestly. For some reason, we just keep losing pressure up top, and I'm starting to think that it is possibly the fuel rails, because on one side of the bank seems to be going leaner than the other side, possibly because on the deadhead side it's able to hold pressure a little bit better than on the other side it's just kind of like just bleeding off. But yeah, we're about to be doing that today. So here's the new Radium fuel rails. Give you guys a little peek at these things. Beautiful Dash 8 crossover. So I know a lot of people like to do Holley and other brands. I mean, you can get away with a Summit brand, but me personally, I love Radium products. That's why I have a Radium surge tank on that car, Radium fuel rails going on there, and I also have a Radium fuel rail set up on the 300ZX. Had Radium fuel rail set up on the SC300. I'm just a big fan of Radium products and the quality of their stuff. So we're gonna be getting these on today, and hopefully we have a little bit more room to go. If we continue to have pressure drop on this car, I think the next step would be to probably upgrade to a Hellcat pump, which is a 525. And then if that doesn't do it, the next option from there would just be to do a dual pump setup. I really don't want to change the whole setup around. So if I can get away with just using one pump and continuing to keep my surge tank, because I like how the regulator is on the surge tank and it returns within itself. So it wasn't a crazy, gotta do a bulkhead on the tank to get the return set up. Like right now it's super simple. So if I can get this to work and be sustainable at this power level with one fuel pump, I really would like to. But if it comes down to it and I have to do a dual pump setup, then you know that's the only option. But I really think one pump should be able to do it. A Hellcat pump is good for I think about 800 horsepower. The Walbro 450 or the Walbro 450 pump is good for about 750. So I'm right on that edge. So I am gonna be taking Kimbo with me today. It's gonna be his first time going to a shop and really just getting out of the house since we've had him. About to load some stuff up in the car, and then we're about to be heading out over to Hexa to get this fuel rail and a few other things done real quick. Alright, so we just pulling up to Hexa right now. Little man's is still sitting there asleep, so I'm gonna just leave him in there for a quick little bit until he wakes up. Oh. So we're gonna be over here messing with this today. So we're gonna be changing this from this -6 over to a -8. We'll keep the 6 return, but we are switching the feed to a -8 setup. And since we're gonna be pulling the fuel rails out, I figured I'd have the injectors tested over here on the injector tester just to get an idea on what these injectors are, because I want to eliminate any possibility that, you know, one bank is running leaner than the other side. So I want to just check the injectors, make sure it's not an injector issue. That way, once we do this, we'll be like, hey, we just put this on and we're still having the same issue. So kill 2 birds with 1 stone, check the injectors. So unfortunately, we're not gonna be able to get the fuel rails on today. We need these plugs for both of the rails, and then we can get them on. So we're gonna get those parts ordered, and then probably at the end of the week we'll come back and do that. But we are gonna flow test the injectors and stuff right now, and we're adding more grounds to the chassis to see if that helps with the starting issues, because it seems like it's hella weak during starting. So adding the ground, plus that might actually help with the fuel pump. If it doesn't have a good ground, then it's almost the same as not having enough volts. So maybe that'll help with the pressure drop too. And here's the moment of truth. We're about to get a little bit of clarity. Flow test these injectors. What the fuck is that? Whoa. That one jizzed. Let's see. So right now, during the idle test, these look fine. George said this cylinder right here is leaking a little bit. That's why it's lower than the other ones. So what we're gonna do is, when we test the other 2 injectors over here, we'll put whatever 2 that were in this cylinder, we'll move them over here. That way we can check those also in just a different locations, just to make sure they're even with the rest of them. But so far they look pretty much even on here. High speed test. What RPM would this be?
3,000.
3,000 RPM?
But it's a 9 millimeter, 9 millisecond pulse width. What side was running lean?
Bank B.
What would that be?
So I think it's driver side.
Driver.
But shit, the O2s could have been flipped. It all depends on which Y band it's hooked up to.
Yeah.
Depending on which bank. I'd have to check which wires are going to which bank to the.
Because these 4 are the first 4. So it's passenger side.
So this passenger side?
Yeah.
I don't think passenger side was the issue. I think it's the driver side we're having the problems with. On the Y band and narrow band. Alright, for some reason it seemed to have lost sound on this clip, but right here we're testing the other 2 injectors. We moved that far right one just to indicate that it was the cylinder on there leaking, which it was. And all the injectors basically flowed out pretty much spot on even with each other. So we ruled out that the injectors were possibly an issue going forward. Alright, so ground straps and everything on this thing. We'll be back later in the week to get the fuel rails done. We'll probably add some more grounds to it, because we are having a voltage drop when cranking. So that explains why we have that weird starting issue. But we're gonna add some more grounds. We'll do the fuel stuff, and then after that, hopefully we don't have pressure drop no more. But We won't know until we get it back on the dyno to test it and do a couple pulls and monitor what the fuel pressure is. Let me wake this little fool up so we can shake. What's up, bro? You ready to go? Is you ready to go? Come on, let's go. Come on.
He's like, nah, man, let me sleep.
Granny getting her physical therapy on.
And all these pretty faces, huh?
What about this? What if you go more? Why are you kicking me?
Cause that hurt.
You gotta stretch it. Like this.
You see how you do it, man?
I love you the most, though. All right, so we actually have some packages that just arrived. So for everybody that was wondering what cutout am I running on the 350Z and on the C5, it is this company, DigiPower, aka DPW. This is who I ordered my cutouts through, and they sent these over because I told them the cutout on the C5 is kind of making like a little tingy sound from the butterfly kind of flopping. So they opted in to send me 2 brand new ones. So I'll probably be swapping these things out next time I get this thing on the lift. And then we also have the gauges for the Fox body arrived. So I didn't get nothing crazy. I wanted to get some cheaper gauges just because of where I'm mounting these at. A little secret for y'all. I'm actually doing this super old school and mounting these on the outside of the car. So you guys know this is where the cow sits. I'm gonna have the oil pressure, water temp, and the battery gauge all on the outside of the car, just to give more of that old school, vibe to it. And for the DigiPower people, I should have sent me some T-shirts, man. I don't wear hats. I don't wear hats at all. Granny, have you ever seen me wear a hat?
Nope.
Never, right? Here you go.
Like it gonna fit on top of my head.
You styling. That's the vibe right there. Here, you want another one? Here, we can even it out. Bam. Ooh, that almost looked like oh, you just socked me in the stomach. Now, if I would have farted, you would have been mad.
No, I wouldn't.
It's kind of look like a Raiden hat now. There you go.
See how he...
What?
He got me on Instagram or whatever that shit is.
It's the YouTube family. This is sexy though. This is the new style. We're gonna wear this to church on Sunday just like that.
Yeah, right.
I've been going too crazy, these niggas too shady. Speed limit 65, I'm about to do 80. Fuck the niggas hating on. I've been on the come up. You can go to speed, but it's better if you run up. You can ride with a nigga, but I'ma give you a choice. If you really wanna